collective, high priestesses, ghosts, golems, angels, demons, chosen ones. We're all in this. We're all here. We're all unique, in our spectrums of expression. And we all have like all of the light in our like prism and perspective of what we see. It's all light. Um, I'm living on this organic farm, which is absolutely enchanting. I live on a farm with um that's owned by a white man, a white male, and he is trying his best to humiliate me, right? In front of other people. Like it's like today he uh was talking about my finances in front of everyone. Our arrangement of payment or whatever. Instead of pulling me to the side, and I'm about to move into another place that's on the farm but with someone else. And he asked me about how much that cost in front of everyone else. And it was uncomfortable. And I felt like he was like doing some type of humiliation, racist BS, um, to try to show that I'm not powerful and it's okay to look down upon me or to, um, you know, not treat me with dignity. And so I called him on the phone later on because I actually do have dignity in class to discuss the matter at hand. Like, can we, the next time we talk about my finances, um, can we do that amongst ourselves? And he asked me why. He's like, why? You know? And he proceeded to give me this gaslighty explanation about how uh, there's no privacy, we're all family, there's no secrets here, or whatever. And the interesting thing is that I spent a lot of time in the morning, like in meditation, writing in my journal about the day I wanted to have, and truly surrendering. And I set my intentions and things, and truly surrendering is knowing that whatever happens on your path and on your journey on the outside of you is part of your manifestation in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Whether it feels amazing in the moment or not. Because what's happening inside of me is that I'm being pushed towards my own inner misery, because what makes someone act this way, say these things, and try to usurp someone else's personal power is that they feel powerless, they feel weak, they need to be seen, they need to be heard. Um, it's not personal. It's like a feeding type of thing. It's a feeding fest of energy. And then the people that are in the environment also get to feed off of the energy as well. And um guess who's the powerful one in the situation? Me. Because everyone's trying to feed off of me. And that's what keeps coming to me to remember, realize, and accept that I am loved, liked, adored, wanted, desired and highly sought after. But what that may look like in different spectrums of light may not be pleasing in different dimensions with whatever dimension people are in, right? It may not feel good. Someone said there's nothing wrong with betraying someone close to you for personal goals. Okay. I mean, sure. That's all in context. Everything's situational. But anyway, um and it's all in the definition of things. Hi Layla. Hey Samuel. Um but thank you for your comment. When you say stuff like that without context, we can't really have a conversation because that's a very antiquated thing to say without context. You will have to give me why the reason why you're saying that right now, which and I'm sure it's complicated and very layered. But anyway, um so I still kept I kept my composure. I felt uncomfortable, but like at this point, narcissistic behaviors and people feel aggravating to me, just like a gnat, like a fly, like, you know, and I do feel like it's beneath me. I'm like, why am I having to deal with this? And the thing that's happening and where it's pushing me towards is for me, making me ask, what is it that I actually want to experience? If this isn't the right place for me, if these aren't the right people, who do I want to be around? Where do I want to go? Where would I be most valued and useful and feel valued and useful within the environment, and not just like pushed away, but also needed and wanted, desired, envied, disrespected, but held in high regard. People brag, like it's like narcissists do this thing where they use you as a caricature. It's like, this is my friend Aya. She's traveled the world. She just came from Morocco. But like when we're all together in group family dynamics of the farm, he tries to belittle me in front of people sometimes. And it's just so confusing. And I'm always having to go back to my journal and talk to my guides, talk to people. I'm like, what is happening? And I realize what's happening. Ask and you shall receive. It's like I need the passion. Hi, everyone. I need the passion and the energy of this situation to push me towards my true desires that I didn't even know that I had. And that desire is for me to work with a black owned woman of color organic farm. I would so love and enjoy that. I have so many skills to offer. I have so much to say. Like working on a farm, a farm that produces, not just a homestead that's for people's personal food storage or whatever, but working on an actual farm where we seed and harvest the land and take it out to the people makes me want to feed my own community. I get to see firsthand how much food we throw away on a daily basis because there's so much food that is produced by one seed. It's like I do this market that the picture that you guys see in the thumbnail. I do this market every Wednesday on Marco Island. I'm in Florida, for anybody who's in Florida. And if you know any black owned female farms, let me know. Give me a call. I'm down to work for you and support you in any way that I can. But anyway, We do this market, we prepare all of this beautiful organic food. And now that I've eaten organic food straight off the farm, I don't want the food in the from the grocery store because it has no flavor and no taste. Like never have I picked up vegetables and just eaten them raw and enjoyed it so much. I've never been a real vegetable type person, and I didn't realize I was struggling for so many years trying to be vegetarian but not really enjoying it. And it's because I was missing out on food that's grown out of the ground, you know. Um and so I feel like how dare he interrupt the beautiful experience I'm having with the land, with the food, with his BS. Go on, girl. Please, sir. Please. You know, one love. One love, one light, one reality. And love never fails. And I am love. And so when you're around narcissistic people, you're not going to figure them out. There's nothing to figure out. They feel lost, they feel lonely and despair, and they're alone. And it's more to the surface than for someone who has a spiritual practice of self-love. Most narcissistic people are in the thralls of an addiction of some sort, and they are either functioning addicts, non-functioning addicts, secret addicts, because if you hang out with them for the short term, on the surface they appear charismatic and normal and empathetic or whatever, and they're like pretending to be like you, to feel how you feel, cosplaying as a whole person or whatever, right? But after you spend a little time and be around them, their community and their environment, you'll start to hear, oh, this person smokes weed, every chain smokes weed or cigarettes, or they they go to the bar every night, like they're self-medicating in some way, or they snort cocaine or whatever, or they used to be addicts and they're trying to stop, so whatever the story may be, or they're serial cheaters or something. Like there's something that they're doing to cover up and it's not working. And so when you come around with your bright and fluffy ass, with all your beautiful light and your great ideas, and your sunshine, like me, then they, want to spar and fight with you for who's in charge. Because in the face of the light, they're not. They're not in charge of the girls. They're not in charge of the girls. In the face of love, they're not in charge. In the face of authentic love, not someone that's trying to force it. Because I don't, I embody. I don't kiss ass. I don't chase. Like, I'm like Snow White. The birds and the stuff can land on my shoulder. Like, people are drawn to me, animals are drawn to me. And people are jealous of that because most people feel like they have to force for people to see them and listen to them. I don't. I never have. I was born with a gift of this type of charisma that draws people in. But what I do with it is I love people. I'm generous, I'm supportive, easy to talk to, open, you know, because I want people to feel how I feel, which is just plain old good. Like, because when you feel good, it makes your life better. And life is really simple like that. All it takes is a good old encouraging word, a smile, a great conversation, some relaxation, and then you all of a sudden are in a different world of hope, right? Inspiration. I like to give that. So I do. And I know how valuable it is, right? And you know, some other people will want for me to not be that person so that they can be that person instead of me, and or to have not have that energy around, because that means they have to rise to the occasion. Because if there's somebody around that actually is an embodiment of joy, then um that means there's no room for anger and disharmony. And some people are like pigs in a pig pen. They rather be in slop than in love. It's like so uncomfortable. So they want to get rid of you, but having you around actually makes them look good, makes them feel better, makes everything better. So instead of appreciating you, they try to possess you like they own you. They try to control you like they own your light and own your trajectory. And it's going to be a no for me, dog. Let's pull some cards. It's an absolutely not for me. Let's pull some cards and see what they say. I'm using my avatar in the city deck. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking the video. And thank you guys for becoming part of the membership, those of you who are members. Thanks for those of you who have been on that journey with me on the Patreon and who just been on this journey with me for a while in general. Want to pull some cards right quick. Are you guys drinking your water, getting your sunlight, going for your walks? That just came to me. I never ask questions like that. The first card that popped out was is autistic autistic at school. The next card after that is victory. And then the next card after that is embodying and ruminating in joy. And the thought that just popped up in my head is that um like I'm like I've constantly have dealt with this lineage of resentment in my life for things not having the type of momentum that I feel like I deserve. You see this horse running here or whatever, ruminating embodiment, ruminating and embodying joy, right? That actually that actually came out reversed. So you've always had really genius ideas, and just you being you, you don't have to really try to be unique, inspired, and creative. And you have this feeling that you're supposed to be famous or you're supposed to do something great and it's supposed to be an amazing experience, but you're having a hard time embodying that joy, that feeling that you have on the inside. And when you think about your imagination and your connection to spirit, to life, to who you are, and what you're supposed to do, and what you're supposed to become, it's like you have a hard time allowing it to shine out on the outside of you. And it could be because of resentment. Let's pull some more cards. But you've always known that victory is a sure thing for you. Like you know that whatever you want, you can have, whatever you think, whatever you dream. It's like the promises of God are written on your heart. You just have to figure out how to let it out. Um, it'll you'll be able to let it out once you stop caring about the end result. and like surrender to the process. Like I was talking about earlier. It's like um I'm deepening my spiritual practice and kind of enjoying my time with God more, like learning what self-worship is and getting into my commitment and intimacy with myself and my life and deepening that. And sometimes what things look like on the outside may need to catch up to how you're feeling on the inside. And you can't give up on the process, even if you have a bad day, like I had today. I mean, no day is bad, but I had a bad experience today. And it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. But it's fun to figure out the puzzle piece and to keep moving on towards victory. Because if you keep loving yourself for who you really are and keep diving into your imagination factory, then you will reach your goal. You see how his fist is pumped forward or whatever? Just keep moving forward. Keep pumping out ahead, all right? And eventually you will feel the embodiment of your energy. But first, you might have to get through the bitterness and resentment. Some of you guys aren't sleeping and resting at all. There's no relaxation in you right now. Sleep by the trees. You're being called for to go into like deep restoration, deep restoration and relaxation. It's because like whatever you ask for is already done. There's nothing else for you to do but to relax and just allow the spirit realm to do its work and do its magic and do its job. You have to like move yourself out of the way and allow spirit to do its work by you spending time in deep rest. But this came out reverse. So that means you have been maybe overthinking, over pushing, overdoing things, trying to make sure you get the results that you want. And it's causing you to have like a rupture in your energy to where you're not feeling how you need to feel as much as you need to. Um, and your manifestations aren't necessarily showing up how you want them to show. It's because you need to spend more time and rest. The next card is aim and focus. And that's interesting that we're talking about the fist pump here, how he's like has a direction. That's something that just came to me in my gut. Have a direction. Have a direction. Have some place you're trying to get to. Like don't be afraid to, make a decision. Allow your challenges to like I was talking about earlier, push you towards making a decision of something you want to experience. And it's okay if it ends up not being exactly what you want. Make a new choice. You know, a lot of us get kind of stuck in this space to where we feel like whatever decision we make has to be the right decision. It has to be the perfect decision, or the person that we want to end up with has to be the one. It has to be the career. It has to be the house. You know, and so you're searching with this type of energy that actually drains you, instead of brings you inspiration. Inspiration comes from you having a flow and being open and flexible and adaptable and understanding that creation is ever unfolding. It's never ending. It's eternal. You're dealing with eternity within you here. And you're not dealing with like concrete, finite type of energy where it's like, wow, it stops here. It ends here. No, it never ends. And so you're always going to be creating going through the process. You want something, you imagine something, you go towards it, you're trying to figure out how to embody it, you know, it exhausts you, to use your own energy, but you learn how to aim and focus. And then the daughters of Isis. This is like being around the right people that love and support you in ritual and in intimacy. Really understand. Isis, see, she has compassion towards humanity because she's been through so much grief herself. This is why she has a cult following to this day. Like the mythology, the archetype of Isis is is a deeply loving goddess has who has spiritual power, probably beyond her understanding, but she uses it to try to put her soulmate back together again. She's like has this unconditional love, um, and she does her best, but even her best as a goddess wasn't good enough to actually make him whole because there's just some things that he had to do on his own. There's some lessons that people around you have to learn on their own, you know. Um, wow, I never looked at this card this way. This is a stripper pole, right? And this is got the daughters of ice. This is like a um a cult of women who worship Isis, and they get it, whatever it is. They get it. They're like supportive of each other. They're not trying to cut each other down. They're lifting each other up and looking up to one another for the scars and the bruises that they have experienced in their life instead of looking down on each other for the scars and the bruises that they've experienced in their life. That's true growth, that's true love, that's maturity, and that's intimacy. It's like let me hold you up. Let you find your space in the world. Let me be that safe place for you. You know, um, I wonder why this card came out because all the rest of the cards is about just you focusing on your imagination and embodying the it is finished dimension over, you know, taking way too much action or forcing things to manifest. So why did the daughters of Isis come out? Because I'm not sure. Daughters of Isis. I don't like shuffling this way. The sensations of autumn reversed. You're looking down on yourself, and maybe you're looking to others to validate you, and you're ruminating in joy. Like whatever it is that brings you joy, you are searching for people to validate it. And um, hmm. But this card is saying that you can have that. It's not saying that you can't. And maybe you doubt that. Maybe that's a blockage for you that you feel like you don't have any support, or that you've never had support. And this support could be your spirit team. Like there's times in my journey that I had to just straight up in this on an earthly plane like walk alone. But I was never alone though. And that's how I got through everything. My spirit team have been my best friends. And I know in the human bodily body sense, most people can't relate to that, and most people would think that's weird. But because I have that relationship in the spirit realm, somebody like the farmer guy, the farmer person that I was talking about earlier, can't break me. As far as like what I mean by break me, because no one's broken, everyone's whole, actually, in reality. He can't. like take me off of my path or whatever. I'm not going to get depressed and like stop loving myself and get off my path and, quit my journey and stop journaling, stop praying, stop meditating, stop moving forward, stop doing my YouTube channel. Like he's not going to be able to take me out of my light, break me. That's what I mean. So don't underestimate the value of talking to your spirit team every day, building a relationship with the angelic realm, the goddess realm, um, self care, um, and really don't look down on. Well, saying don't look down on yourself isn't going to make you not look down on yourself. But wow, the churning of the ocean, Lakshmi. This is another card about you know using your mind, your mental capacity to focus on your spiritual practice. The churning of the ocean, if you read the mythology of Lakshmi, if you are into the mythology of Lakshmi, then you know that both the light and the dark side had to work together to bring the riches out of the milky ocean, which is the story of creation when it comes to Lakshmi. Without Lakshmi, nothing would exist. Lakshmi is abundance, which is a law of the universe. Every of the whole universe is abundant. It's an abundance of anything and everything, the light and the dark. And so it's like it looks like a promise to you that if you surrender to your process and you stay down in your spiritual practice and you focus and you rest and you give your the process over to the divine, and you need to know what it is that what your job is and what the spirit realm's job is, because it's like you're stepping on your own toes or whatever. um so it is finished, like everything is already done. It is finished and all is well with your soul. These are the laws of the universe. So you can do nothing and receive everything. This is the law of the universe. The only thing that you need to do is focus. Focus your mind, focus your attention, focus your churn. If you want to churn on something, churn on how abundant the life is every day. Like look up at the sky and meditate and see what downloads you get just from looking at the sky and how expansive it is. It never ends. And it looks, when I look up at the sky, I feel like there's just enough space for everyone. There's enough space for everything, right? Like get into that type of a vibe, and that'll help you embody these energies more. It's like you really need to hmm, take time, like take the time to spend time with yourself and to take it easy enough, go slow enough to where you can learn to embody your own goddess energy. And that means getting into the philosophy of life, but make it personal to you. Make it general at first, like like I was just talking about how expansive the sky is. That's very general. But if you feel that, that's your own personal embodiment, right? And you need to feel those types of things and not the tightness of you not being where you want to be right now. That's stressful. You ruminate on that too much and you end up in a bad way, in a sense. So you want the power of abundance, the glory of support from the universe, from the goddess realms to overtake you, to have more momentum, to spend more time in that space and that energy than in the space of I never get what I want. It takes so this is taking so long. This is so hard or whatever. That's your misery talking. That's the miserable part of you, you know? Like how I was talking about the narcissistic person around me right now. It's like um narcissists help you purge the misery in you because in order for their misery to affect you, there has to be some misery in you in order for them to in order for you to give a damn, right? They're useful. Narcissists are useful like that. They help you aim and focus. Narcissistic people help you aim and focus. And what I find so delightful about these two cards together, Daughters of Isis and a churning of the ocean, it's like you have really special things in store for you. If only you would sit in that space long enough with your imagination to embody it. You have to give yourself some time sleeping by the trees, sleeping by the trees, daydream. You have to spend time daydreaming and not because you want to force anything to happen, but because you enjoy it. That's a difference. Most of us are trying to get something, right? And we want it now, yesterday, because we are trying to get away from a certain feeling of lack, a certain feeling of neediness, a yearning and a longing for fulfillment and intimacy and closeness of life, meaning. It's like like I want something I can bite, sink my teeth into. What is it? Where is it? Where are they? Where who are these people? What is this? What is my purpose, you know? Um and without rest, without like deep reset where you just be like F all this noise, like F this noise, and you stop being noisy as well. And you just like allow yourself to just be fed up, but rest. You can be fed up from not having everything that you ever dreamed of or imagined in your life, you know. It's okay. It's like all you want is for your dreams to come true. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not a crime. All you want is to be happy. All you want is to experience joy and enjoyment of your life. All you want is to be rich so that you can travel, right? You're not hurting anyone by what you want or desire, right? And so if all it takes for you to just kind of be still and know that I am God, it's like being still will help you find God because you have to find God in the situation in order for you to have hope, feel inspired for the process and the journey of it. Because that's really what you're after. The meaning that you're looking for is in the churning of the ocean. Because once the stuff comes out of the ocean into your hands and you can see it and touch it and feel it, it's over. So you have to find a way to enjoy the journey instead of resenting it. And if you can't find a way to rest, if you're always exhausted because you feel like you're the one that has to make it happen, because you don't trust the universe, you don't trust God that has created the sun, the moon, the stars. Like you have to get into this mode of God because God is that energy. If you think about the sun and what it does for 5 minutes, you'll sit down and move out of the way because you're like, how? You'll never know or and completely understand it. But that's the same energy that created you. How'd you get here? Who are you? What are you exactly? Right? These are the type of things that expand your mind. And you need to sit with those things and let it put you to rest. Just because you don't know. It's like I don't know. This is amazing. You need to be amazed by God, which is love. Like the love imagination factory that's always up. That's Santa Claus. He never sleeps. He knows when you're awake. Okay? It's always giving to you whatever it is you're asking for. So it would behoove you to sit still, be quiet, and get clear about what it is that you want based off of what you don't want. You already know enough of what you don't want to sit still and be like, okay, if I don't want this, what is it that I do want? Like, truly, what would I like to experience? Like I was talking about earlier, and I'm going to close this out. Because I'm having such a ugh, ugh experience here on this farm with this white man and his racism and things and bigotry and all types of other stuff that I don't care about. Like I don't want to be involved with that. I don't want to be around that. And I feel like my talents are going to waste. I'm not being utilized completely because he's so busy trying to make me feel like I'm not that girl that it's a waste of my time, right? And so but it pushed me to be like I like being on the farm. I'm not ready to start traveling the world again yet. If this isn't the place for me, what is it that I actually will want? And then it came to me, I would love to help and support organic farmers or women of color farms or homesteads or whatever. And that really gave it sat well in my heart space. Like that's real and truly what I want. It wasn't like, I just need to get a job. Ugh, ugh. But it's like I feel purpose in that. I feel a lightheartedness in that. I feel the embodiment of the daughters of ISIS. Like I can support another black woman in doing something that I can't even put into words what it's like watching food that we eat grow out of the ground in abundance the way I've been able to see it happen and then sell it to the community. It's so much food. And I just really want to educate my people on how life could be. It makes me want to cry. How life can be when you slow down and you touch ground and you're outside all day. and you make your own products, and you know what I'm saying? And so I want to support that effort. If I'm going to put effort into something, that's what I will want to put effort into. And plus, I want to spiritually bond with people. And I don't feel like I'm doing that here where I'm at. It's all very much so um, people just basically doing white people doing what they usually do with when a black person is around, like kind of trying to steal their identity and their energy and stuff, while they try to pretend like they're not doing that and playing in your face. But they don't. They wish they weren't like that though. That'd be the thing that's sad. It makes you feel bad for them. But the stuff that they do behind your back and the energies that are at play, the cowardlessness, and how, you know, everybody wants to pretend like they're activists, but when it's time to actually stand on business and stand up for something and stand up for righteousness, they're not going to do it. Most of them. Most of them not. Because they want what you have, which is your authentic warmth, love, generosity, you know. They want the natural magnetism, charisma, and attraction. Um, I feel like I've come to a natural end to this session and this reading. I appreciate y'all for being here with me for the ride and the journey. Um, as I figure out how to be my own marketing team and publicist and figure out more of how to brand myself and have more fun with it instead of being resentful of the process. Like I'm telling y'all or whatever. Um, that's have been my lifelong one of my lifelong lessons in life is like enjoy the journey. Spend some time outside. Hug a tree. Spend some time in a hammock reading a book. Get some fresh, clean water, some fresh air, and some good organic food. Find some clarity. Be well.